Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Tech 2000. My name is Blake. I am your host, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the state of Xbox. So, recently, it was reported that 2024 was the worst selling year in Xbox's history, pretty much. Not good. They sold 2.4 million units across, I think, the world. Maybe it was just the US, but that's including both the Series X and the Series S. If you split them up, it's even worse. And then they come out and say that Halo and Gears of War and all this other Forza, all this stuff is going to be on PlayStation 5, and Phil Spencer basically says, we don't want people to be drug over to Xbox anymore and buy our games. So basically, their mindset nowadays is sell games. So basically, that is the main money maker for Xbox right now, is selling games. So Xbox Game Studios is doing pretty well. I want to say they were up like 70 some percent last year. So yeah, they're doing good on the games. Not necessarily like exclusives and stuff, because, well, exclusivity doesn't really exist for Xbox anymore. They're porting all of their games that once were, oh, you had to buy an Xbox 360, oh, you had to buy an Xbox One, or you had to buy an Xbox Series X. All these games that were once, oh, you got to buy an Xbox to play this game. They're not that anymore. They're being ported over to PlayStation as we speak. And yeah, so my question is, in the year 2025, what is the point in owning an Xbox when basically there's no next gen or current gen really exclusives for the console, really? If there is, there's not really a lot of them. There's like Starfield and shit like that, but there's not really a whole lot of exclusivity for the Series X. And I feel like Xbox being behind so bad in this console generation has kind of made Sony lazy too, because what have we had other than like Spider-Man and Ratchet and Clank? Couldn't tell you. So I mean, here's the thing, Xbox isn't really worried about selling hardware anymore. They're more focused on selling software. And I mean, I understand it, kinda, because look at the company. Look at the company. It's Microsoft. Software. That's what they do. They've always been a software company. Even though Windows isn't that great, I wouldn't say it is still the like leading computer software. So basically, like, I mean, if you get any other computer other than a Mac, it's gonna have Windows 10 or Windows 11 on it probably. So where am I coming from? Basically, I think like I'm not gonna say it's over for Xbox, and Phil Spencer even said that Xbox would be releasing at least one more console eventually. Not just like a revision of a Series X. They've already done that shit. No, he said that they planned on releasing a brand new Xbox sometime in the future. My question is, why the fuck did I spend $500+ in 2021 to buy this console, and 4 years later you haven't really done shit? You haven't really released any games that are worth that price point. I could have played basically every Xbox exclusive game that has came out. I could have played it on an Xbox One for like a fucking quarter of the price. So why did I spend that much money on an Xbox Series X in 2021 when there's like nothing to show for it, really? In my opinion, there's not really anything that warrants that purchase for me. And I mean, I was happy with the purchase. I love playing. So here's my thing. I like the UI on Xbox. I like Game Pass. I like shit like that. I do also enjoy, I like the controller better than the PlayStation controller. I like, stuff like that. So usually if a game is a third-party game, I will tend to get it on Xbox over PlayStation. Usually. Not always, but usually. So the thing that gets me is really try it. I could have had a PlayStation the whole time, which I do now, but I could have just went with PlayStation from the start, which I didn't. I went with Xbox from the start because they were talking big games. Sony wasn't really telling me what I wanted to hear. Xbox was. So pretty much I could have had the PS5 and only the PS5, and eventually I would have been able to play all of the exclusive games that are on the Xbox on my PS5. It's happening. They're doing it right now. Am I gonna be able to put my fucking Forza Horizon 5 disc in my PS5 and it work? I don't know. But so Xbox doesn't necessarily have to be done selling consoles. They're still making a shit ton of money off of Game Pass. They're still making a shit ton of money off of selling games because they own a lot of game studios, and a lot of Call of Duty, they own Activision now, so they're making money off of Call of Duty games. And Call of Duty Black Ops 6 has sold way more on the PlayStation 5 than it did on the Xbox. But at the same time, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 was free on Game Pass day one. I say free, you gotta pay for Game Pass. It's like $15 a month, but it was on Game Pass day one, which is cool. And that's how I've been playing Black Ops 6. I won't lie to you. I did not buy it on PlayStation 5 because I have Game Pass on my Xbox. So what am I getting at? Basically, Xbox could end up not selling consoles anymore. Eventually, they've already said that they will make at least one more Xbox in the future. I'm not sure when they'll drop that. I'm assuming it'd be around like 2028-ish, maybe like 2029. I mean, just honestly, this console generation has been pretty disappointing for games to me. I've spent, let's see, 500 plus 500. I spent $1,000 on next gen consoles, and like, there's not a whole lot out there right now. So basically, I mean, Xbox could end up not selling consoles anymore, and that's a big problem even for PlayStation fans, because as we already see, since Xbox isn't really at their necks, they've kind of gotten a little lazy. Like, look at how hard they came in the PlayStation 3 era and the PlayStation 4 era. They were dropping so much exclusive shit. Like, you had Uncharted, you had The Last of Us, you had God of War, you had Ratchet and Clank games, you had Sackboy, you had like all this shit, right? And now, I mean, they're still making exclusive games. Like, you even had Spider-Man 1 on the PS4, banger. And like, they have Spider-Man 2 on the PS5, which is alright. It's not as good as the first one. They're coming out with a Wolverine game. God knows fucking when. But yeah. So like, when Xbox isn't doing good, PlayStation does tend to get lazy, and that's the case with a lot of shit. When they don't really have a direct competitor anymore, they start to get lazy, because the Nintendo Switch is not really a direct competitor to the PS5, obviously, because like, the Switch is really only there for exclusives, right? You buy a Switch to play Pokemon, Animal Crossing, Mario Kart, Mario Party, Luigi's Mansion, shit like that. You don't buy a Switch to play Call of Duty. You don't buy a Switch to play Fortnite. You don't buy a Switch to play, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so pretty much, if Xbox does end up stopping hardware, it could get to a point where Sony is just really lazy, and all the games they're dropping are boring and what's the word? I don't know. They're just boring and not really thought out. They don't really put any thought into the games and shit, you know. But there is a way Xbox could stay in hardware, and I'm not really opposed to it. So basically, Xbox runs, like, if you look at the Xbox UI, it's literally just Windows. It's Windows 11, but it's a different version of Windows. It's not exactly Windows 11, but it's basically just fucking Windows 11. So my thought process is, why not? I mean, Xbox already is basically a miniature gaming PC, so why not turn Xbox into like an entry level, like, console / PC? You could still keep the disc drive if you want to, because I mean, developers already make games for Xbox and PC and PS5, like all at the same time. So that wouldn't really be an issue. Like optimization wise, I mean, all these crazy PCs and shit, they don't really have like a ton of games that are like optimized for those $2,000 PCs, you know what I'm saying? Like, PC owners, when's the last time you squeezed all of the power out of your PC, you know what I mean? I mean, I don't know, but basically, so like at like $500 USD, that's a pretty reasonable price for like actually it's a really reasonable price for a entry level like PC. And so what I think they should do, they should keep the Xbox elements of it, but give people the option to use it as a computer. Like, so you have the Switch that you can use as a home console, or you can use it, what the fuck? Or you can use it as a what the fuck was I saying? Something popped up over there. It was like a thumbs up. I don't know what that was. But anyways, you can use a Switch as a home console or a handheld. So why not integrate Windows 11 into the Xbox, and you can have two separate dashboards? You can either use it as a home console with controller, or you can play games with keyboard and mouse or whatever you want. But then you could plug it up to a monitor, have a keyboard and mouse, all this stuff, and you could essentially turn it into a gaming PC on your own. You don't really have to do anything. You can just like swap to a different mode on your Xbox, have it running on console mode, or have it running on desktop mode. So with that, you would be able to open up like a world of possibilities. I feel like if they really wanted to, they could like not allow Steam to be on there, but at the same time, they already sell their games on Steam, so I don't really see that as like too big of a deal. But if they wanted to, they could just like, you kind of gotta have Steam, right? And I mean, you could have Game Pass combined into one thing, like, because there's PC Game Pass and then there's console Game Pass, so you could kind of put that all under one umbrella and sort of use the software aspects of Microsoft to your advantage to sell more hardware, because you don't market it as a full game console, you also market it as a entry-level / mid-level PC. And I really think that would work, personally. Because like, imagine being able to buy a $500 Xbox. It has a terabyte of storage. It's really fast. and you can get on there and play Xbox games. Shit, you can even put a 360 disc in it and it'll run. Yeah, and then you can also swap over to desktop mode, and you could, I mean, the possibilities are endless on a desktop. You could fucking make music on there. You know what I'm saying? You could make YouTube videos off of your Xbox. You could stream off of your Xbox. Which, I mean, you can already stream off of your Xbox, but or can you? Yeah, you can through Twitch. But yeah, I mean, it's just a thought. Like, Microsoft makes so much money anyways, it's not really gonna matter to them whether or not they sell hardware or not anymore. But I feel like turning Xbox into like a games brand isn't really the best for the whole span of video games as a whole. I feel like gaming is at its best when both Xbox and PlayStation are doing good. And as of right now, Xbox is down. They've been down for a while now. And this is the worst it's gotten, hardware wise. And I don't know, I feel like if I was able to run Microsoft on, or not Microsoft, if I was able to run Windows 11 on my Xbox Series X, it'd be pretty freaking cool. Cause I mean, look at it this way: if I can run Windows on there, I can go on Steam. I can download PlayStation games, because most of PlayStation's exclusives are also on PC. And think about it this way: PCs usually aren't gonna get GTA 6 until a while after it drops. Xbox, PlayStation, they're getting GTA 6 as soon as it comes out. So Xbox technically would be the only gaming PC with GTA 6. So I mean, I feel like a Series X has the capabilities to do all of that shit, especially if they drop another console next generation. Then it would be even more powerful and all this. But I mean, the Xbox is already pretty much a mini gaming PC. It has like the same chips. The PS5 even has almost the same chip. And I mean, yeah, I just think it'd be a good idea to kind of go the gimmicky route, kind of like Nintendo does. Not necessarily exactly like Nintendo does. I don't want Xbox to make a Switch. I want them to integrate PC elements into the Xbox and kind of make it half console, half PC. And I think it would benefit everybody, honestly. I think it'd be the console to buy, because you could play PlayStation games, you could play PC games, you could play Xbox games, you could play third-party games, you could play all that shit, and you could fucking make a YouTube video, you could hook up a webcam, you could hook a keyboard and mouse up, you could do all this other stuff like a PC does. And I mean, personally, I think that's the way to go. But yeah, Xbox doesn't really care if you buy an Xbox anymore, which is kind of crazy to think about. And it kind of saddens me a little bit, because back in the day, Xbox was like the coolest shit. PlayStation was also like the coolest shit. And I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what the future looks like for Xbox. I'm just giving suggestions, really. I don't know. I don't know what it looks like. I do feel like I kind of wasted my money on buying one this generation, because they're not really trying to do anything extraordinary. So I mean, yeah, it is what it is, really. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on it in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe, and I will keep you updated on this Xbox situation. Yeah. Peace.
She make it clap. I got the strap. 21 gats. Feel like I'm savage. 21 bitches and none of them average. I'm gonna fuck me tonight, me a bad bitch. I don't give a fuck about niggas. I don't give a fuck about hoes.